Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. Yes, I'm back on this April Fool's, and I'll be gone tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. But today I'll talk about another huge Bitcoin buyer that has emerged or emerges. And it may surprise you who it is. And I'm here to talk about the next 10x crypto narrative. And no, I'm not talking about memes, even though they always present a 10x opportunity. But there are others that you have to watch out for. So let's talk about those. And let's talk about everything else that's going on in the world today. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. Welcome back. Or I should welcome myself back. Bitcoin is at 69,500. So roughly, the same place it was a week ago. We had some up and down. We broke into 70,000 a couple of times, right? But overall, we're still going sideways. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, like I said last week while I was down in Orlando, my favorite city in the world, especially during spring break. Like I said, it's quite amazing that we're holding so strong above our previous high in 2021. It may seem boring. It may seem like we're not going anywhere. But the simple fact remains we are well above our previous high of 2021. And we are still before the halving event. Okay? That says a lot. It's monumental if you think about it. Okay? Having one Bitcoin being worth 69,500 or 70,000 is an enormous thing. So if you're getting bored, you're getting scared, whatever, just slap yourself out of it. Okay, we're doing just fine. And today, we got another surprise buyer. I mean, it's sort of surprising, but I think the main thing is how much that this entity has bought. And I'm not talking about Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy or BlackRock, for that matter. It's actually Tether. You wouldn't think Tether would be a large Bitcoin holder, but no. They have increased their position now to 75,000 Bitcoin, which means they hold over $5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now, they stated this around a year ago, that they would take their quarterly profits and take a percentage of that and buy Bitcoin with it. And you know what? At first glance, no one really gave it any attention until people start realizing that Tether makes a god-awful amount of money every quarter. Billions upon billions upon billions. And that's why even their small percentage buys of Bitcoin, they are adding up enormously. So Arkham is tracking Tether's wallet, which now has 75,000 Bitcoin in there, roughly $5.2 billion. And this is not going to stop. It's only going to increase. Okay, so another entity that continues to buy and join in the race. The race between BlackRock and Saylor, right? They have accumulated vast amounts of Bitcoin. And now Tether is on the rise too, trying to catch up. And speaking of Tether, they've always had this problem, this FUD of whether or not they really have all the funds available. Well, they have squashed those rumors by completing this gold standard security audit, which basically states that they have all the money in the world and they are secure and they're not going anywhere. So I guess that's a good thing. We can erase that from our minds because there has been always FUD around Tether and whether or not they are really solvent if there was a black swan event, right? But overall, they are buying just like everyone else. And speaking of the ETFs, of course, last week we had a really, really good week. Grayscale did slow down their selling, but today, again, they sold another 4,300 Bitcoins. 303 million outflow. I mean, at some point, just look at the red. Look at how much they're selling. At some point, they got to stop. But right now, no one can explain why Grayscale continues or why Grayscale shareholders continue to sell Bitcoin by the hundreds of millions per day. But again, this is a testament to how strong Bitcoin is, because when you have someone selling $303 million of the Bitcoin per day and Bitcoin doesn't move, doesn't flinch, shows you that when it does move, how much buying there really is, right? So we're still waiting for this to dry up. This may last another few weeks leading up to the halving event, right? There's an enormous amount that's being sold every single day, and no one can explain why. But here's the reality. No matter how much they're selling, the other ETFs are buying way more. They're compensating and way more than what the miners are producing. And that number is going to get cut in half shortly. In about 3 weeks, we will have the halving event, which cuts the number of Bitcoins produced from 900 to 450 per day, making things even tougher for the miners, for the investors, for everyone. It makes things tougher because it becomes that much harder to buy Bitcoin, right? The stock to flow model is predicting that we will have a new all-time high before the halving. So our last halving was our last all-time high was like 73,000 something. Plan B says we're going to break through that. Some people still think we're going to hit 80, 90, 100,000 within the next 3 weeks. As soon as Grayscale stops their selling, which could end as soon as 2-3 weeks, I think that's when we will break higher and head above 100,000. There's just no doubt about it. There's just no one selling anymore. Besides Grayscale, they're the only ones that can keep this up because they accumulated so many Bitcoin over the years, 650,000 approximately. They're around 300,000. They sold more than half already. How much more can they sell? And they're the only entity out there that has this much to sell. There's no one else out there that has any left to sell. Not in this amount. So you got to figure when they stop, that's when we start going upwards. We break through our previous high and break through 6 figures, which is probably right around the corner. And here's just the last few things about Bitcoin. Here's one that shows a Fibonacci level that the last few cycles, once Bitcoin broke through, it started going up parabolically, okay? And that's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. We're at the cusp of a parabolic bull cycle, parabolic bull run, I should say, okay? Just like the previous cycles, like in 2018 and 2013, were roughly around the same point before things got really, 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 really nutty, okay? It's right around the corner, guys. Right around the corner. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. So Bitcoin is still looking pretty damn strong, and there's nothing that anyone could do about it. Nothing. It's going to continue to go upwards, and we will see 6 figures soon enough. But what else is going on in the world of crypto besides Bitcoin shooting higher? We know that's going to happen. What are some next 10x crypto narratives? Well, let's start out with something that does relate to Bitcoin. What about programmable dApps or BRC20 for that matter, right? All made possible through Stacks and through Bitcoin itself, obviously, through the Taproot upgrade. But Stacks is going to have their Nakamoto upgrade pretty soon, right around the halving event, right? So it's like right there. Stacks is the only crypto out there. If you stake, you actually get rewarded in Bitcoin. Think about that. But a Nakamoto upgrade basically makes it more efficient, makes the two more in line with each other, more secure, more fast, and overall, this is going to help drive more dApps to Bitcoin. So I think this besides Bitcoin being a store of value and a medium exchange, right, being a programmable layer will continue to be a big thing this cycle, starting with Stacks. And you know what? You know what Stacks has now? Meme coins. Yes, the very first meme coin built on Stacks is Welsh. I know some of you guys know this. This came out like last month, right? But you know what? They're up 290%, around 65 million. So even Stacks has its own meme coin. But outside of meme coin, what else is there? Well, a lot of things are revolving around BRC20, right? Alex, which is kind of like the Uniswap of Bitcoin, is doing very well because of the surge of BRC20 tokens. So, again, programmable dApps and tokens and infrastructure on top of Bitcoin is definitely going to play a big role this cycle. So pay attention to all these projects. So that's one. Another narrative is RWA, tokenizing. Okay, BlackRock, when they do something, they go hard, like me. Buildle, basically, this is a fund for tokenizing real world assets, draws in $245 million in a single week. And that includes $95 million from Ondo. Ondo is like a banker's coin. And they're all about tokenizing securities and stable coins and currencies and all that stuff, right? And Ondo has been doing very well indeed. In case you're curious, $1 billion of tokenized treasury already exists, and $150 billion of stable coins. And there's a lot more coming. So RWA is going to be a big deal. And there's others that are tokenizing real estate, tokenizing music, tokenizing a whole bunch of real world assets that I'll be covering a lot more in the future. But I do think tokenization of real world assets are also going to be a big narrative for this cycle, right? So you got to pay attention. And then lastly, of course, you got to talk about some L1s with their awesome DEXs and their awesome DEX volumes, like Solana, which has just broken 60 billion in DEX volume in March, all-time high. And you know who else? Base sets record high DEX volume, surpassing 1 billion. And do you know why Solana and Base are breaking DEX volumes and transactional volumes? Because of memes. This is a cycle led by memes, right? One of the big narratives. And if you don't like memes, that's fine. But at least look at the infrastructure, okay? Meaning looking at the chains they operate on, looking at the DEXs that they are being traded on and swapped on, because they are all going insane, okay? Insane. You look at Jupiter and Radium, sky high for Solana. You look at Base's Aerodrome Finance, sky high, right? So memes are definitely causing a lot of projects to skyrocket. And plus memes themselves are skyrocketing, right? Like you guys have heard me talk about like a lot of memes that have done quite well. Some random, some not, right? There's so many out there. So that's another narrative for this cycle. Definitely don't miss it. All right. That's a wrap. Let's do some Q&A. Ooh, I'm thinking about moving to Orlando. I don't know if you guys caught my video from this morning. Awesome, awesome, awesome city. If you like to sit in traffic, you like to sweat your butt off, you like to sit at traffic lights that never turn green, you love waiting an hour plus for every single place that you want to go to. Awesome place. Mosey, thanks for TD, George. Never had so much fun. Big Red, hey, not giving up on that project, and neither is Moon Daddy. Andrew, George, what do you think about Solana food meme coin narrative around Brad Pitt, cost eggs? Do you hold any? Well, if you watch my video, I do hold Costco hot dog, and that made me a lot of money. Just out of the blue, just because it has a good name, and plus the founder didn't rug. That helps, but. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just don't know. I know other people copy it. Someone came out Costco pizza, it didn't do anything. I mean, there's some things, you just can't copy. Let's see here. Have you seen GFI? It's a monster goldfinch. No. GFI. That's a good symbol. GFI, 150 million. Let's see. Real yields from real companies, really. Yeah, I've seen this before. It is very similar. It sounds very similar to Ondo. So, I don't know too much about it, but it does seem like there's all these things, all these, I don't know, all these funds that you can invest in, or companies. If you're into RWA, could be a good one. Can Kanye West put my kids through college? I don't know. I don't know. It's not clever enough, I don't think. Joe Flunky, I think we need a meme coin P to I'm sure someone already came out with that. That's just so wrong. Yeah, someone came out with it. And what was the other one someone asked? Coiny. Hey, it's on base. Coiny West. Hey, it looks really strong. Bruce asked, can you put your kids through this? Hey, if this keeps on going, 42 million. And I gotta say, base memes, I don't like base. I still don't. And I don't want to mess with like transferring ETH and just doing anything with ETH. But I gotta say, base memes are blowing up like crazy right now. I stayed at Story Lake. I didn't stay at Story Lake. Igorza. Yeah. But I was in Orlando. Can Soul Flip eat this cycle? Yes. Yes, I believe it can. Man, Costco hot dog hit like 100 million just like a day ago or 2 days ago. This is absolutely wild. It's holding at 43. I don't know if it can keep going, but man, this was insane. Probably one of my biggest meme holds. What are your thoughts on Surge BCH? No thoughts. It's just garbage. I'm struggling with Chainlink. Prediction for a bull run. I like Chainlink. It's just boring at times. It's very boring at times. Kind of like Cardano, but it should pick up. Haroon, welcome, new member. Crypto Alliance. The Crypto Alliance is here to show that one of the greatest crypto minds on YouTube. Appreciate all you do for this industry. You're making a difference. We have nightly spaces, Crown, Prince, TCA, 7 p.m. Well, keep on doing your thing, man. And I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Now that Gensler's out of the way, Grayscale decides to hold Bitcoin back. Something's not right. This was planned. They knew this was going to happen. That's why they kept the fee so high. Or they decided to make the fee so high, and they continue to keep it high. They knew this was going to happen. We just didn't know the extent of it. We kind of guessed some people would take profits, but we didn't know they would sell this much. I got an email from Mexi today, WTF. It does look like Mexi is afraid of what happened with KuCoin is going to happen to them. So you're going to have to do either KYC or find another exchange, unfortunately. For those of you guys that are in the U.S. If you're outside the U.S., you don't have to worry about it. If you're in the U.S., you're going to have to think about, jumping into another exchange, like BitUnix or TapBit. Yeah, so you could find them in my description, or you could continue to risk it. Excited for ASI merger, Fat Ocean, Singularity. That seems kind of crazy. I still don't know how they could get away with that. I don't know all the details, but it seems like it's a crazy merger. Check out Core. It's built on BTC. It's just like Stacks. Core. $3.2 billion. Where did this come from? Yeah, that's not right. That can't be right. They were down. They were 58 cents and they jumped to 380 in like a week. No, there's something going on there. There's something really fishy going on there. Build with EVM compatible smart contracts and Bitcoin powered blockchain. Satoshi Plus mechanism, delegated proof of work. Yep. So it sounds like exactly like Stacks. But there's something fishy going on there. Dustin, hey, I bought Costco an hour after its release. I mentioned to you last week, my one SOL went up to 120,000 K. What have you done? Did you sell half on the way up, or do you think it's going to a billion? I hope it goes to a billion, but I sold more than half recently with this dip because I'm not sure it could continue on, because there's a lot of memes that seem to kind of top out around 100 million, goes down. So I kept about half. But congratulations, one SOL turned into, so $200 turned into $120,000. That's absolutely crazy. So you bought it way earlier than me. I mean, I told you guys my story. I did buy around 350K market cap, and then I sold it, and then I bought back in, but I bought back in much higher. But I'm not complaining. I made a good amount of money with it. I was thinking about opening 500 long on P Diddy coin. Don't do it. Don't do it. Golden Sun, thank you. Trade memes. Trade SOL memes or hold. Hey, sometimes you just don't know. People get rugged all the time. Things go down all the time. It's like 1 in 100 that does this, right? Like, a lot of people used to shill me, hey, go look at GME. Don't fade GME. Well, look at GME. It started out hot, and then it just never quite recovered, right? Like, it just can't get momentum up. A lot of people trying to shill SKID. It's kind of the same thing. They start out really hot, and then they just lost all momentum, right? So they're both holding around 5 million. So I'm hoping Costco hot dog is not the same way. It peaked at 100. I hope they don't just keep on trending down, because it's hard to keep people's attention on a meme because they just go through a few of them. So sometimes trading is the best way, but sometimes holding it is even better. Haroon, thanks for Big Red. Made good profits and met a good community and new friends. I mean, it's the same thing for both Kulo and Big Red. I told you guys about it very, very, very early. So even though they haven't, like, wait, this is the wrong one. This is just a copycat. Where's the Polygon one? Here we go. So even though they slid down a little bit, but people that got in early are still way, 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 way up, right? I talked about Kulo when it was under 1 million in my Patreon and Discord. And Big Red, I also give people a heads up when I was coming up. Also sub million. So both of these have done very well. And I think they will continue to do well. Keep up the good streams. Thoughts on Veracity and Boom. Boom is one of those, man. I held on my leverage for so long. Finally, I recovered back. They were down for quite a lot. I don't know if Boom is going to do well. I mean, I know Whiff has been absolutely killing it. I don't know if Boom could do the same thing. Veracity, I've always been neutral on. All right. A lot of super chat. I gotta go really fast here. Welcome back. Which coin were you talking about that's earlier that's better than Bitcoin? That was a joke if you couldn't tell. I was referring to Litecoin, and no, it's not better than Bitcoin by any means. Please look at Solana on Solana. That's an old man. That's an old meme. $20 million. Again, like the other ones I showed you, it doesn't seem like it's going to recover back. People just moved on. Okay, which one? Sith Lord, I just mentioned it. About Kulo, I still support them. I think I give them time. This is like before. They were hovering at 1 million for a long time. And then look at what happened. They jumped to 40 million, right? Dan, do we like cats in the dog world? No. No. Cat memes? No. I'm staying away from them. I'm holding BlackRock and Solana till the peak of the bull run. Lurie Pink is coming. BlackRock and Lurie Pink, I don't think they're creative enough to do big in this cycle. But who knows? Could you look into chain swap? Been pumping. Well, 51%, 138 million. Why are they pumping? Where are they exactly? Defy limits, powered by CCIP. Defy limits, embrace anonymity. Well, it seems like it's the first swap on Chainlink. Could be good. It's probably multi-chain. Yep. Yeah, could be good. You know what could be better? If there's a meme that comes out on Chainlink, and then it will kick drive chain swap into high gear. I mean, if you look at Aerodrome has been killing it. So chain swap, they could. Right now, they are only on a few smaller exchanges. I have no idea why they went up 50%. Probably someone talked about them. S-Goat on Phantom. Man, I don't know if I get into any memes on other chains. Sonic Goat. Not looking good right now, no. Couldn't help myself up my Stanley Pup holdings at 50 million. You know what? It's unfortunate because Stanley Pup was doing so well. And then I think people like sold off to buy into Costco hot dog. And it's unfortunate. But you know what? I'm still rooting for them under 1 million market cap. they could easily come back up. I still think it's a great name, and I'm hoping they come back. Are you avoiding CTOs? What's CTOs? What's a CTO? I don't know what you're talking about. How can I see your meme holds? Can you share with us? No, I don't share anything that I hold. I may talk about a few things, but I don't want people to direct copy trade me. That would be bad. I've made some bad moves in my trading career. DGB, Digibyte? No, there's nothing that makes them stand out. Build them from Starter Labs. I am an investor in that. I got introduced to Starter Labs. They're one of the biggest incubators of 2021, and I think they could be a big one for this cycle too. And they are also on base. You know, seeing how hot base has been, they just launched recently and they're doing quite well. So I think they could do good. Dustin, thank you. What do you think about Big Three, Kulo, Big Red, and Just a Tip? I already talked about them. I believe in Moon Daddy. I don't think he's giving up on any of them. So let's see what he could do. You got to give it time. Not everything pumps all the time. And you know what? Kulo and Big Red, they're on chains that are not that hot for memes yet. I think Avalanche will get hotter with memes, but still not that hot yet. And Polygon certainly not. But they could. ChainSwap is my first 10x under a week. No one discussing. Only invested because the only product using Link CCIP. I don't know about that. Well, I mean, like, I'm sure someone talked about it because someone brought it up recently, but I was on vacation, so I didn't really pay attention to it. I'm pretty sure someone brought it up. That's why they've been pumping. But it could be a good one. I mean, if you look at Aerodrome, which I have ignored for a long time, and I'll admit that because I don't like base, but you can't dispute like the gains that they had, 200% in last month. So maybe ChainSwap could do the same. DYP. Why is there old and new? Some kind of migration. Metaverses don't do well. I'm just going to say that. They don't. So, does it feel like there's too many meme coins and too many meme coin community members, spammers? Yeah, but this is a cycle of memes because there's so many people that are making crazy amount of money with memes. There's going to be more, and it's going to dilute the space. So it's going to be harder and harder to find the good ones. That's just reality. Just like the ICO craze in 2017, just like NFTs in 2021, it's always like that. There's always something that people, go crazy for. Sith Lord broke 0.2 Bitcoin today. Congratulations. Congratulations. Doug Hype. Hey, Doug. Spent a good amount of time in Cancun with Josh and the Kulo Yacht Party. People should know Kulo and Big Red are planning more events and good things. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Moon Daddy has a lot of stuff in plan, right? And Kulo Swap, I don't think people realize how big it is, and it is operational already. So Doug, I saw some videos of you wearing like your fur coat jacket in like 90-degree weather. What do you think about Shiba Inu? The past and the future is here. You haven't talked about cock lately. Well, I will because Cock will be fighting in the next IFC. It's going to be exciting. And you know who they're fighting? They're fighting Snack. It's going to be Snack versus Cock. But that's going to be a good fight. Every fight in the IFC 2 is going to be good. And then we're going to have IFC 3 and IFC 4 this year, going all out. I don't know if you guys saw Nick Carter, one of the biggest, you could argue, Bitcoin maxis out there that'll be fighting in the IFC. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good. And others we will announce soon. I bought YGG around 8 last bull run and got crushed. Brought my average down to 35 cents in the market. Curious why no one ever brings up YGG in the gaming space. Have you looked into it? No, I never did. I heard of it though. I know a guy that made 800x on YGG. That's what he told me. An investor, a pre-seed investor, said his biggest earnings was from YGG, and he made 800x on it. So I can't imagine what he got it for. But you got around $8. You know, honestly, I just don't know enough about it to tell you. But can it get back to $8? Probably. It's not that far off. Another 5x, you can go back up to 5x. Panda Swap. Who are they're the biggest swap on something. I don't know. Maybe not. They're just not Solana. Solana next grade. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. They're pumped because someone talked about them. That's all. Your thoughts on AI token Chirply in March? News on their Twitter. They partnered up with Google, Nvidia, Microsoft. That's all nonsense. These guys throw around partnerships like with Google, Nvidia, Microsoft like it's so easy to do. I'll tell you that's nonsense. So Chirply, yeah. Well, at least they're up 36% in last month. Yeah, I've seen this before. This should be more like a meme rather than an AI project. Get in touch with the audience using micro and nano influencers. I remember people asked me about that. Actually, this has nothing to do with AI, so I don't know what you're talking about. Doug Hype, I will see you in Dubai. Jonathan, why is it better to buy crypto with Tether instead of using USD? You could use USD, but it's just so much easier using USDT. There's a lot more trading pairs, and it's much faster. If you buy with USD, you gotta pay fees. Sometimes you gotta wait for settlement. I mean, if you have Tether, it's just so much easier. What do you think about Nervos, a serious project? No, it's an old L1. I say they're the past. There's just future chains are just so much faster, so much more useful, so much more activity. I still remember when Nervos came out, they were trying to sell some like oh no, that's another project. Nervos kind of rebranded themselves into, they were supposed to be like L2 for Ethereum. I think that's still their new direction. They were supposed to be like a bridge for Cardano, and that never went anywhere. I don't know. It just seems like they've changed their message and their branding so much. They were back from like 2017. Yeah, so I think they're the past. Dustin, you got to be careful, man. You hit one on Costco, and I realize that makes you think you could hit on all of them, right? And you certainly have enough profits to try others. But there are so many memes that all seem like they're pumping one day and then they dump the next. Finding another Costco hot dog is 1 in 1,000, maybe even 1 in 1,000,000. So slow down your random ass and buying. All right, guys. I'll conclude. We got tomorrow. Today's my first day back. And Bitcoin, of course, continues to do well. And we got another surprise buyer. And there's a lot of 10x narratives out there, guys. So stay strong, stay focused. Keep your eyes open and ears sharp. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good one. Take care.